Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Adams Brothers podcast. We have some good shows in store for you this evening. Want you all to come on in the room. Come on in the room. Welcome to the Adams Brothers podcast. We are here this evening with Miss Shanae Spencer.
Hello.
She is an influencer, funeral planner, and she is going to be talking to us all about funeral planning and all of the things that she do. And we'll touch a little bit about wills and trust and all of this and that.
I remember.
Yeah, but we're going to just talk about it. Yeah, I remember what she said, but we're going to talk about everything here this evening. So we'd like to welcome Miss Shanae Spencer to the Adams Brothers podcast. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
You're welcome. And thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on the Adams Brothers podcast. We really appreciate you. So let's start out by let's introduce yourself. And other than what I told the audience, introduce yourself and tell us about you and the things that you provide.
Okay. Hey, I hope everybody's doing well today. My name is Shanae Spencer. I am from Deerfield Beach, Florida. I am a woman that wears many hats. I do credit consulting. I'm a business mentor and also a youth mentor. But my specialty is funeral planning. The things that you guys don't want to talk about, but it's very much important.
Yes, it is very important. So, well, you say you're a funeral planner, and how long have you been doing funeral planning?
I've been doing funeral planning for 2 years now.
2 years now. Okay.
Yes.
And what are some of the things that you provide when you say funeral planning? What are some of the things that comes with the when you purchase a funeral plan? What are some of the things that comes with the funeral plan?
Well, I first want to let y'all know, just be a little transparent with you. I lost my daughter 6 months ago to a tragic car accident.
We're sorry to hear about that.
Thank you. In Boca Raton, Florida, with two other teens. And I always had life insurance. I always had funeral plans. I have accident insurance and all of those things. So, guys, I really wanted to make sure I come on today to let you guys know the importance of securing your family and your loved ones, making sure that you guys are at peace and at ease when the unexpected happened. So I was covered. I was definitely covered when that tragic accident happened with my baby. So, as well as what the funeral plan comes with is a standard funeral plan that covers 7 of your loved ones and your family members for as low as $70 a month from the age of 0 to 80 years old. It's $70 a month for 7 people, guys.
Wow.
And 7 people. And it does cover your standard funeral. Right. So that covers the transporting to the body, from the body to the funeral home, preparation of the body, use of the facility and the staff for the viewing, casket for the viewing, funeral director fees, the funeral guest book, a death certificate, cremation and urine, the standard casket. So this funeral plan, and also what's really big to me is a will, because we all, as the African American community, a lot of us don't have a will in place. So that we can cover our family once we leave. And it's just chaos when we don't have everything together. We also provide grief counseling. So that's what the funeral plan consists of, and that's what we provide to our clients.
Right. And I heard you mention, that a lot of Black people look like us. We don't like to talk about this subject, and it's a subject that eventually all of us are going to have to face. Let's just face it. All of us will die some of these one day. And the thing is, you never know when you're going to die. You could be in a terrible car accident, anything could happen, and if you don't have your affairs in order, you have to rely on someone else to put those plans in place for you, you know, and most people don't like to do this stuff, you know, while they're, you know, healthy in the right mind. And, you know, this is the perfect time to do things like this here. You like you say, you never know when something like this is going to happen.
I
So,
want to
and
mention this. I'm sorry. I
no,
didn't
go
mean to
ahead.
cut you off. I apologize. I want to mention this. Keep in mind, guys, I prepared my daughter for me to pass away. I have life insurance and everything, funeral planning. I have accident insurance, as I mentioned. So I prepared Shanae for me to pass away. I was never prepared for her to pass away.
Right.
So what I wanted to say is it's very, very important that you think of, because as he mentioned, we everybody's gonna die. Everybody is going to die. And this is a conversation that's not an easy conversation to speak on, but you have to be comfortable with this conversation to speak with your kids, your loved one, and have something in plan and in store for them in case the inevitable happens. I didn't think my baby, I was, my daughter died March 11th. My birthday is March 12th. The day my daughter died, I was in Miami with 20 of my friends having a good old time, and she was dead. I didn't know it. So in my mind, I never thought my baby was going to pass before me. If for me, I was speaking in the household all the time with my fiance, with my daughter. Hey, the insurance policy over here. Hey, use the funeral plan first. Hey, do this, do that. Hey, don't spend up all the money, out of your emotions and, doing this and doing that. So I had that conversation in my household, and it's very important, but I just didn't think it was going to be my daughter before me. So this is the conversation that you guys have to have. Where do you want to go? Where would you like to be buried? Where is the funeral plan policy? Who do you want to call? So you guys have to be comfortable with the conversation at hand. I'm telling you, because I didn't know that I was going to come home from partying and having a good time with my friends to wake up in the morning to find out that my daughter was gone, and I didn't know it. And I'm just being completely honest with you guys, because I woke up that morning and I seen my classmates' children on Facebook and they passed away. My first thing, I prayed for them and I cried. I actually cried, not knowing that my daughter was in the car along with them. I cried and I prayed for these people because I know them. I was raised up with them. I grew up with them. I went to school with them. I cried and I prayed and I asked God to give those parents strength, never knowing my child was in the car, never knowing that.
And
So
you're absolutely right, Shanae. Yeah, you just don't know. And as we talked off camera, before we went live on stream, like before we started live streaming on Facebook, and I told you I know exactly how you feel because I lost my daughter 2.5 years ago, and I had just gotten to work and it was 7 a.m.
We were talking on the phone, me and you.
Yeah, we were talking on the phone, and I had just hung up with my brother. And as soon as I hung up with him, I hit the time clock and I got a call that my daughter that, she was in the bathroom. She had passed away in the bathroom, in the bathtub, while the water was running. And my 11-year-old daughter, granddaughter at the time, was one of the ones that helped her nana knock the door down, and she saw her mother dead in the tub. So you never want to get that call. I know exactly how you feel, and it has to be hurtful. I do remember the incident in Boca Raton that when those young people were
very
tragically killed, and my sympathy goes out to you. I know exactly how you feel, but that's the importance. You have to have a plan in place, and you don't be scrambling to put up a cash app or put up something to bury your child, and
right.
You have to have something in place, and we're good at that. We'll put up a cash app in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So, one thing that you mentioned, I heard you say about the $70 and it covers 7 people. Is there and it covers the casket and all of that stuff. Is there a medical examination that you have to have, or is that blood work that you need to have done before you could get these policies?
That's a great question you asked, and I'm glad you asked that question, because you don't You don't have to have a medical examination, which is wonderful. The only exclusions are individuals that has cancer, diabetes, and have a terminal illness or cancer. So if you don't have any of those things, y'all know, listen, life insurance, I'm good. I love life insurance. And I'll go into more about having the funeral plan and life insurance, the benefit of those. But just to let you guys know, those who are getting denied for life insurance, we do have the funeral plan. The funeral plan is here to assist you and your family. $2 a day, $70. That's $2 a day. So to cover 7 funerals, that's 7 standard funeral arrangements. You can't beat that without an exclusion. The only thing you need is your first and last name and your date of birth. If you don't have cancer, I mean, if you're on the plan and you get cancer, of course you're covered. If you're in remission, of course you're covered. If you have diabetes and don't have and you're not on dialysis, you are covered. But if you go into dialysis, you're still covered. The one of the other things that I absolutely love about the funeral plans is this: the waiting period. So if you're in a car accident, a violent situation, a killing, or a car accident, a violent situation,
or crime,
you are covered in 3 days.
Right.
3 days. 3 days. So if you're dying from natural cause, or if you die from natural cause, you're covered within 6 months. So the waiting period is really, really, I feel as if it's good, because individuals that don't have life insurance or does have life insurance, we all know it takes about a year or two for it to kick in. We don't know. I mean, we can die tomorrow, and you have life insurance, you aren't covered. And that's just what it is. I deal with people every day. I deal with individuals that have drug trafficking charges, they're denied. I deal with obese people, they're denied. People that has heart condition, they're denied. And that's with, life insurance. But the funeral plan, we are welcoming anyone that has these issues. We can still provide a service with you. You are able to still be able to cover you and 7 of your loved ones. So I think it's really, really good for individuals that's getting denied. Not only getting denied, you can't afford it. You got people that's 80 years old, their life insurance like $200 a month. That's tough.
Right. And I'm glad you said that, because again, when we were talking off camera, before we went live, it was for somehow my daughter's mother, back in those days, I'm not blaming her, because I didn't know her finances, but somehow the life insurance policy had lapsed. And then by the time I realized that it was kind of hard for me to get life insurance coverage for my daughter, because she had congestive heart failure. So, and it took me some years to look around, because nobody would take her. And when I finally did find an insurance company to take her, I had to wait 3 years before the policy would kick in. And it was only a $10,000 policy.
Wow.
And she didn't live long enough. She was only in it for maybe a year, and whatever money that you put into it, that's just what you get out. They don't pay out anything. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because had I known about these funeral plans, I would have definitely, and I will be looking into it, because I have 5 grandchildren, and she left 5 grandchildren for me and her mother to take care of. So this would be good for me to get with you to get them into some life insurance,
Absolutely.
And I mean, it's to me, $70 a month. I mean, people spend that on going out to Buffalo Wild Wings and going out for wings and turning up down at Sundays down there. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, going out to eat. So
yeah.
And one other thing too, Miss Spencer, it's ironic we talking about that. Our brother Ronnie Savage, he passed last year, last May or June somewhere. But right before he died, he was living here, and then he moved to Clayton County, Georgia, somewhere in Georgia. I know he had moved, but before he left, he called me over there to his apartment one day, and he had this funeral planner there, and the guy came, and I
Oh,
was sitting
wow.
there, and my mom and my dad, we were all there at the same time, and he gave us, if he knew he was dying, I mean, he had kidney issues, but I don't know if he knew, he was gonna go that quick, but he had actually made plans, and he had gave me the paperwork that day.
Oh,
And actually, when he left here, his kidney started failing on him. But when he did pass, he had the kidney. I'm sorry, he had the burial insurance, and he had like for the headstone. I mean, it included casket, headstone. It included a lot of
yes.
that stuff, if I'm exact. So,
Mhm.
that was good, foresight on
Preparation.
his.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Right, right. And I want to share a story with you guys, and it's still mind blowing to me. And it's a personal. It's dealing with my family. I mean, my family know. I preach to them. They know I preach to them about life insurance. I've been young already with life insurance and funeral planning and all type of insurance. So I've always been an advocate of it. But I had a family member to I preach to them, and I'm like, hey, y'all need to tighten up. We got to do this, we got to do that, because we don't want to not have what's necessary when it's time. And I would not forget, my uncle did everything I wanted him to do that day, and my aunt died the same day. But just going back to how important it is to make sure that your family is covered from the inevitable, because we don't know our day nor time when God is going to call us home. We don't know it. So it is, I mean, just to think about, I feel as if you're selfish if you're not doing what you need to do. Now, if you can't do it and you can't afford it, I understand. But if you have the money and you're, foolishly throwing it out all type of ways and not making sure that your family is covered, that's another situation. And what I wanted to mention was, guys, the other people do this all the time. They get a funeral plan and they also get $100,000, $200,000, $1 million policy, and they'll use the funeral plan and cash out on the policy to help their families afterwards. So I understand if you guys already have insurance policy. Hey, kudos to you. That's great. I did too. So what I was able to do was use the funeral plan first. I didn't have to, although everybody knows Shanae funeral was extravagant. We paid a lot of money for the funeral, but the funeral plan paid for all the standard costs for the funeral. So the only thing that we had to pay for was the add-on. So the horse and carriage, the security, the things that's really not necessary, but the things that we want. So guys, just to let you know, y'all take advantage. Okay, you have life insurance, that's fine, but you may have a family member that's on drugs. You don't know their social. You may have a family member that can't afford it. You may have a family member that is just reckless and does not care, and we have to make sure that they're good. I have a homegirl that's on my funeral plan. She on drugs. But one thing about it, two things for sure, if something happened to her, I can bury her. My dad is in prison.
Right.
I can bury him.
Right.
So yeah, I just feel like I just wanted to mention that with you guys. It's very important to just be covered, be aware. Just come on, y'all. Come on. I'm begging you guys to do what's right for you and your family and your loved ones, so that you don't have to do a GoFundMe, or don't come up with the money, or doing shirts and doing this and begging this person, and you got to pay Peter to pay Paul. No, you don't have to do that with the funeral plan.
And I'm glad you mentioned about drugs, because if you have a life insurance policy, and I'm saying this because I know this happened to a couple of people that I know. If you have a life insurance policy on someone and they're out there doing some recreational drugs, weed, or if it's not prescribed by a doctor, or if you're doing coke or fentanyl or anything, you might have a $100,000 policy on there, but if you didn't read that little fine print down there, when that person dies, and if they have something in their system that's not prescribed by a doctor, they can deny that policy. And I know that just happened to one of my friends, and it was only a $15,000 policy, and they denied it because the husband, took something that somebody gave him to try, and it wasn't prescribed for a doctor, and that insurance company denied the policy. So guess what? They had to bury their loved one out of their pocket. And funerals are expensive, guys. I'm just telling you, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, just for the basic funeral, you talking about 11, 12, anywhere between, depending on what you want, anywhere between
Right.
$11,000 to $15,000. You know, you're going to be
Absolutely.
out of your pocket, and it's going up $4,500 just to dig a hole, just a hole,
Yes.
and cover it up. That's $4,500 right there. You know.
Yes.
You're not even talking about the casket, and you're not even talking about the limousines, and you're not
That's
even
right.
talking about all of that other stuff. So, people, yeah, you all see Shanae here. You listening to her?
Yes.
You know, I mean, you all tell her. I mean, tell these people how they could get in contact with you.
Well, guys, you guys can contact me. I do have a website. As well. Well, my phone number is 888-551-4316. 888-551-4316. You guys can follow me on Facebook as Shanae Spencer. I'm also on Instagram, Shanae Marie _. I'm also on TikTok, Forever Dior, as well. I do have a website where I would drop on the Adams Brothers podcast on their Facebook. I'll drop that information there. You guys can definitely hit me up there. I'm here. I'm willing to help and assist. Again, I'm an advocate of protecting your family and your loved ones. And just what's serious, I told y'all, I went through this tragedy. I went through this tragedy 6 months ago. And that's why I'm such an advocate, because I had to do it. Although I had a lot of friends and family that really took care of everything for me, but I was hands-on. So I seen how much everything was. A church was $1,000. A band was $300. And I can go on and on and on. I can go on and on and on. So that's why I know how important it is just to make sure you and your family cover. We cover 50 states, also Haiti, Jamaica, Dominican Republic. And guess what, guys? We also provide jobs, contracted jobs. You can become a funeral consultant if you like. If you're as passionate as me and want to help families, just get educated and sign them up. Guys, you have that opportunity to do it. All we want you to do is be a walking billboard for the company. That's it.
Right.
So if that's something that you want to do as well, you also can reach out with me on that as well. And I'll be more than happy to see. Anybody know me, they know I love to help. I love to help my community. I love to help my Black sisters and my brothers to get ahead and do what's necessary to help them get to the next level. So if you're ready, I drop that information. Again, my number is 954. Well, this is my 888-551-4316. Again, my social media, Facebook is Shanae Spencer. My Instagram is Shanae Marie _. My TikTok is Forever Dior, and I will drop my website on the Adams Brother page. There, I also provide business credit, personal credit. I am also a mentor for the young adults. I haven't just got all the way out there yet. Again, y'all, I told y'all I lost my daughter 6 months ago, so I'm just coming back out. So just bear with me. But and I'll let you know.
Oh yeah, and I know exactly how you feel. Trust me, I still shed tears right now today, and it's been 2.5 years. You're never gonna get over it. It might get a little bit better, and I'm telling you from what I know, I know your pain. First. I mean, from right off it, I got a little tongue tied, but I know your pain. You know what I'm saying? And we got some questions from some of our viewers. What did you say over there, Wayne?
Samantha prayed up. Neil said, "Will insurance cover a rider if they have a diagnosis?"
Okay, again, I'm not an insurance agent, guys. I'm in school right now. I'll be one in probably a month. I'll be licensed. So I don't want to give you any information that I'm aware of, but I want to make sure that it's accurate information. So I'd rather not speak on that. But if you want to hit me up, maybe a month later, I'll be able to consult you and give you all the information you need. But right now, I can't ask any question that anyone has in pertaining to the funeral plan. I love to give you information on that. But far as the insurance aspect, I'm still in school, and I want to make sure I provide you with the best information possible.
Well, that's all right. Long as you're in school, we know you'll always come back here and talk to us about it. And we have another question from Felicia Welch. She says, you moved it. She says, I don't understand why it keeps moving. I don't understand why it's so common for family members to hide their life insurance policies away from their, it keeps jumping, their other family. And then when they pass, the family has to hunt for it and wonder if they had anything. We must
Right.
stop that.
So what's a good place, Shanae, to keep a policy like that as far as your expertise?
Well, for
Where should you-
me, in my household, we have a file cabinet. If you don't have a file cabinet, you'll put it where you put your social security number or your nightstand or your dresser under your bed, wherever you feel necessary that for you to have it. But you just have to let your family members know, because they don't need to be looking for a needle in a haystack when you pass away. So that's something, again, that I feel as if it should be a common conversation every day. Y'all, I promise you, before Shanae passed away, years, when she was a little girl, I used to tell her, like, Shanae, the life insurance policy here, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. She'd be like, Mom, why are you talking like that? Until she got accustomed to it, it wasn't like that anymore. She knew, this is what we had to, this is what I want you to do. You got such and such, such and such. I want you to spend $10,000 on the funeral. You can burn me if you want to. I want you to invest the money. I want you to do what you need to do, because when I'm gone, ain't nobody gonna treat you like me. These are the conversations that must be had with your family. It has to be had, because if not, like Felicia said, you sneak in and you're not telling people about the policy, and it's going to be a needle in a haystack trying to figure out what's the next step. And that's not fair to your loved ones to try to figure it out. That's not fair, because you're already stressing that I lost the person I love the most. Now I'm trying to take care of everything. And let's be real, y'all, most African American families, it's always, and I thank God this didn't happen to me in my situation, but we always get into an argument about something, and it's just so much going on. So to alleviate the stress from families and the stress of already grieving, talk to your family. Tell them where the life insurance at. Tell them what you want to wear. Tell them who you want to go to.
Right.
Tell them how you want your hair to be. Tell them how you want them to spend the money. Put it in a will. Put it in the will. Just be more courteous, and have a mindset. Be mindful of the people that you're leaving behind, because it's serious, and grief is serious. I cry every day.
I know you do.
I cry every day.
I'm right along there with you. And if you don't cry, that means you didn't love your child. So I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I don't care if they see me cry. If I'm missing my baby, I'm going to cry. I don't care who see it or whatever.
Yeah.
You're going to shed those tears, and people won't understand it until hopefully I pray to God, nobody ever has to go through that. But
right.
if they do, then they'll understand those tears.
Absolutely.
Tears is like 1% water and 99% feelings. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
people are going to go through it. And Tanisha Nicole said they must have a beneficiary. What about the beneficiaries?
Well, for the funeral, if we're speaking on the funeral plan, Tanisha, I don't know which one you're speaking on, but I'll speak on both, because I do know.
Do they have? Can you put a beneficiary on a funeral plan?
Well, for the funeral plan, it's no cash value. So what's going to happen is it's going to pay for the entire funeral, but there's no cash value. Versus insurance policy, right, you do have a cash value. So of course you would have to put a beneficiary on that. So I would tell you guys to put a beneficiary on your bank account. I'll tell you to put a beneficiary on, whatever you deem necessary that you're leaving to your loved ones. But as far as the funeral plan, no, there's no beneficiary, but it is a point of contact who you want someone to contact in the case, in case someone passed away. But one of the things I like most too with our funeral plan is we have a 24-hour customer service center where you can just give them a call. They'll set up they'll set everything up for you. They'll call the funeral. You'll just let them know, hey, I want to go to Good Shepherd. Okay, you want to go to Good Shepherd? They'll call Good Shepherd. They'll set everything up. So when you're ready and you're in your right mind, all you have to do is just go there and sit down with them and say, hey, I want this color, I want this, I want that, or however it is, whatever it is that you want. But it gives you a peace of mind. You don't have to call around, calling this person, doing this, doing that. No, you just call the 1-800 number and you let them know my loved one passed away. They're going to call the examiner. They're going to call the hospital. They're going to do all the legwork they're going to do all the legwork for you. All you have to do is just whenever you're ready and you're, at ease and ready to take the necessary step to meet with the funeral home, then you'll go there to do everything else. But the funeral plan do everything for you. But really quick, one of the things I wanted to mention when we were talking about grief, the funeral plan, Assure for Life, we actually have a grief counselor that goes along with it. So not only the will, everything, we have a grief counselor, and as African Americans, I think it's necessary. Yes. I think that's really, really necessary, and it's really important. So,
and that's good. That's good that you mentioned that when someone passes away, you need people around you. You need people to come and surround you and make you laugh. And it's good that you mentioned that about the grief counselor, someone that you can talk to and somebody that you can cry to,
Right.
When you want a loved one pass, the people who you thought were your friends, some of them are not even going to show up to the wake or to the funeral. They'll text you like, bro, sorry about this and that, but they don't even show up to the funeral. And I'm telling you from experience. And when my daughter passed away, I saw the people. I know people love me, but I didn't know it was that many people, and I gotta say, I'm not gonna call the name, but some of your family, man, they showed up big time for me. They just came around me. Awesome. and they surrounded me every day. They say, look, I'm taking you out. You know what I'm saying? So you need that. So that when you mentioned about that grief counselor, man, I'm loving that. So
yeah,
me personally, I'm definitely going to be looking you up, and talking to you. I have your number. You
got my information.
You're right. And I want to know all about your plans because again, my daughter left me 5 grandkids that I got to make sure that they have a fair chance in life, that they don't be accepting handouts and stuff. But I know as long as I got my family, my brother, my parents, my nieces, my nephews, they're gonna help me make sure that my grandkids is okay. So, and that's my main focus.
That's
so
awesome.
People, if you all out there looking right now, if you don't have a family plan, reach out to Shanae Spencer right now. Don't wait and go, I got time. I'm going to live for another 50 years.
Man,
that's the biggest lie. Biggest, don't fool yourself, okay?
And you know what, Shanae? These are uncomfortable conversations.
Yes.
Historically throughout the Black community that
it is.
I saw from my time growing up, and I still see it now. I remember we used to just even talk about death growing up as a kid, and I can remember my grandparents saying, "Oh, don't even talk about that." We didn't know what we were saying. We were like, "Well, I want to be buried this way and that way," and they used to tell us, "Don't talk about that." Even to this day, in modern times, right now, where it's in the Black community, I know it's hardly. It's
not spoken of.
Yes, it's not spoken of in these conversations, and that's why you see when the parents pass or something, that's why you see the kids or someone in the family infighting over property, over it's just so much where we have to talk about death and dying, because one thing is for sure, we're all gonna die one day.
Lenora Moore said very very true, Wayne. Uncomfortable conversation. So yes,
you
have to have those uncomfortable conversations, again, you either gonna, have that conversation, and when you die, when you're dead, somebody's gonna have that,
or the court's gonna have it. The probate.
Come on,
somebody's gonna have to make that decision for you. So you may as well make your own, funeral plans, because I know personally that I don't know if you know the history of. We have a funeral, not a funeral home, but a cemetery here in Deerfield Beach. And they have since made it right. I have to give the city of Deerfield credit, but they had a cemetery that Black people weren't allowed to be buried in.
Yeah.
Now they can be buried in, but let's say if you die and while you're living, you could say, hey, I don't want to be buried over there. But if you didn't make that clear while you're living, and that's it, that's what your family can afford, guess what? They're going to put you right over there where you didn't want to be.
Felicia Wells, don't put me over there at Memorial. I'm a proud Black man. I want to take me to Pompano or somewhere else.
Yeah, so it's a lot of history that that goes back years and years. And again, the city of Deerfield, they made it right, but again, if you know now that you don't want to be buried over there, come see Shanae and let her,
That's right.
get you a plan and put all of those details in that plan so you don't have to get
Absolutely
somewhere you don't want to be,
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
very important.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it is. And I wanted to mention really quick, I know we pressed on time, but guys, from 0 to 80 years old, I know that a lot of us, have miscarriages, not miscarriages, but stillborn babies and things like that, guys. Your stillborn will be covered. A baby is at least $5,000 just to bear a baby.
Oh,
you know
wow.
what I'm saying? So yeah, it is. So I just want to mention that to you guys. And not only that, say if you're in Georgia and you have a family member that's here, we also offer a free round trip ticket to the ticket holder, a plane ticket, so you can get here and be with your loved ones. Even if you're in Jamaica or Dominican Republic or Haiti, we provide a ticket or airline ticket for you to get back here. And we also do mortuary shipping. All of that come with the funeral plan, y'all. $70 a month. $70 a month. Mortuary shipping. Come on now.
Right. I was just going to ask you that because when our brother passed away, he was living in Georgia, and when he passed away, my parents, they had him transported back here to South Florida.
And I don't even know if that was in the policy, to tell you the truth.
I don't even know if that was in the policy, but I think you just said that's included in the policy, right?
But yeah. So in the funeral plan, that
in the plan, I'm sorry.
Yes, it is included in the funeral plan. And I've discussed this with, I have other people that's on my team, and she had her friend that she signed up. He was in Barbados. They was on a vacation, and he passed over there. And thank God she had the funeral plan. She was able to bring him back. So just think about it. And we was looking up prices, so that made me start just researching to see what the prices were to bring a body from Barbados to here. That was like $25,000, $3,000. That plus everything else you got to, that's a lot of money. And then you had to know, like, okay, it's just so many rules and so many things. So I'm just trying to get people educated so they don't have to go through. It's a headache.
Right. And one other question I have about transporting the deceased back to wherever they need to go. How many, let's say, is it a cap on how many miles you could go? Let's say if they were in let's say New York or California, how many miles do they give you? Because some people will say, some policies will say, well, we'll bring them back, but they don't, it's only good to up to 200 miles or 150 miles or something like that. Do you know how many miles that they provide for the transporting of a body back to?
Yeah, so there's no cap. There's no cap. So every state that we cover, like I said, in whatever countries we cover as well, we're able to go pick that body up, bring the body back, or however you want it to do it. But we do provide those services. So I mean, I love it so much, and I'm gonna tell you why. What made me even go harder in Shanae's death, those people that, just think about this big company, right? For them to even call me, reach out to me, send all kind of big flowers and do this and that. They don't know me from a can of paint. These people called me. I called little old Shanae, just your consultant. And for them to even do that and email me, that just touched me like, okay, y'all for real. You know what I'm saying? You really care about my well-being. You really for real about what's going on. So that kind of touched me even more, just to see these big flower arrangements that you sent me, asking me, do I need anything, or whatever the case may be. So with that kind of love and compassion, if you care about little old me, I know that you care about the other people that sign up with us, and the other clients and the other families as well. So that was big for me. That was really, really big and touching for me, because at that time, that situation was just like, my only child, my only daughter. And for people all over the world just to, reach out to me, that's big. And my company, to reach out to me. That's major. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah.
I don't think we had never saw anything like that, to tell you the truth, here that I can remember here.
Right.
And I've been here all my life. I never saw a tragedy like that happened
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
none of the kids that was right here from our community.
Yeah, we
I
knew them
never
too.
saw
We
that.
knew the families, and I didn't know that was your daughter until I found out. And again, my condolences
My
goes
condolences.
Thank
out to
you.
you. And I know
All
that's
the
it's
families.
fresh. It's only like 6 months.
That's
You
it.
know, and you never get over it. You know, the tears never
Right.
go away. I can attest to that. You know,
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
because you never gonna forget about your daughter, and
Yeah.
she's resting in peace now. She's in a much better place right now. No more pain,
Peace.
no more
Mhm.
suffering or everything. So before we let you go, is there any other thing that you would like to tell the audience? Because you've been giving us a ton of good information here. I'm telling you. So put it out there before we wrap you up.
And
Well,
tell us
guys,
anything.
Okay, I mean, it's not much to say because, like I said, I'm a very big advocate of protecting yourself and protecting your loved ones. Y'all talk to y'all family, talk to your children. I know that, like I said, I started off young with Shanae. I started talking about death with Shanae at the age of 15. My first funeral life insurance policy. I started talking to her, and then even my fiance, when we got together, you know, he was uncomfortable about it, but now he's very comfortable. I talked to him about it. So these are the conversations that I'm begging you guys to just have in your house, have in your home, so that your children are comfortable. I even talked to my mom. I'm like, "Well, you want to be married?" So you know, it's kind of like hard conversations, but it's conversations that's necessary to be had. Yeah. Guys, get a will. If you feel like, you know, it's some things that you want to separate, it's some things that you want to have. The will comes with the funeral plan, but I'm saying, if you don't get the funeral plan, I'm still talking to you. Get a will, separate everything, have everything in order how you want it to be, so there's no confusion with your family. The other thing I would just say, just spread love like no other. Love on your brothers and sisters. If you can help your brothers and sisters elevate in the community, guys, do that. Fight for your community. Fight for what's necessary, guys. Credit is very important, guys. That's one thing. I'm just throwing everything out there one time. Credit is very important, guys. They don't talk about it in school. Educate your family, educate your loved ones on the importance of credit. Why it's necessary, guys. Consider your children's feelings on whatever it is that they're considering. I know we old school and, you know, we on our kids' head, but at the same time, sometimes just listen, because we don't listen. And a lot of things go over our head because we don't listen, because we're already accustomed of what we were taught. This is a new generation, baby. You got to listen to those kids. If not, there's a lot of things that's going to go over your head. There's a lot of things that you're going to be missing. There's a lot of things you're going to stray your children to go left when you could have them go right. But yeah, so that's it. I love y'all. I mean it. Y'all follow me.
One other quick question. Like, this pertains to me as well. I have a granddaughter that has sickle cell, and a grandson. I have two grandchildren that have sickle cell. Will the plan still cover them?
Yes, the plan will cover sickle cell. The only thing, as I mentioned before, the plan does not cover terminal illness, which means if you're dying in 6 months, 5 months, 3 months, 2 days, whatever. Cancer, if you have cancer, it does not cover cancer, but it does cover if you're in remission. And it does not cover if you're on dialysis, but you can have diabetes. You can also be on the plan and these things occur, you're still covered. So it does. So the people that's getting denied, my brothers that, you know, y'all have drug charges or whatever the case may be, y'all come to me. I'm here to help you.
There you go.
Because it's important to be covered either way it goes. My older generation, I'm here. Obesity, I'm here. High blood pressure, I'm here. Yeah, so I'm definitely here to assist anybody that is getting denied, or if you're not getting denied and you want something that's reasonable, that's going to take care of your family. I'm a living witness. I used it. I seen it. I know. I can tell you from my tragedy.
Right.
So
yes,
we have been talking to Shanae Spencer. She's an influencer, funeral planner, consultant. You can reach her at 888-551-4316. Make sure you all give her a call and get you a family funeral plan and get it in place so nobody else has to do that for you. Shanae, thank you. You
And
put
come
out
back and talk to us
a ton of good
anytime.
information
Yeah.
out there for all of our viewers and your viewers as well.
Okay.
You when you get certified and get your license
back.
in life insurance,
Okay.
please come back because
Come back.
you are an excellent speaker.
That's
we want
right.
you to come
Thank
back
you.
here and put all of that information out to our viewers
Thank
and
you.
your viewers. All you got to do, you got our number, hit us up, and we will get you on here with no problem at all.
Show some love to Shanae Spencer.
Show some love to Shanae Spencer. And
thank you guys so much for having me on. Thank you guys for being a voice for the community. I really appreciate you guys. I enjoy your podcast. I come on, I listen to you guys. I go on your page. I like what you guys are doing. So just keep it up. And I'll love to come back, you know, when I am licensed. I love to come back. Or whenever you guys want me to come back, I love to be a part of what
You hit
doing.
us up.
Hit us
Okay.
up.
Hit us up.
Again, the number is 888-551-4316. 888-551-4316. That's Shanae Spencer. Thank you so very much
Thank
for
you,
joining us
Shanae.
here on the Adams
You're
Brothers
welcome.
Podcast. Those of you that's out there watching, we got another good podcast coming up right at 7 p.m. So you all stay tuned. Keep it locked right here on the Adams Brothers Podcast. Thank you for joining us, Shanae, and
Thank
have
you,
a
Shanae.
wonderful,
welcome.
wonderful
Thank you.
weekend.
You too. Thank you.